to my channel. I've got a number of things to show you today. I have got a Mandy Shaw Secret Society unboxing. I've got a few makes and a little bit of an update on plans and the seam work course that I've been doing. There's probably other things that I haven't mentioned, but I've got a list here of things to try and play through. Now, I've tried to tell you this now in 2 videos, and I've wrote it down both times, and I've not told you, and it's something really exciting, so I can't believe I kept leaving it off. And I know one time it was where I'd wrote it on the page, but do you know sometimes the magazines put your make in their magazines, and it's really nice, isn't it, when that happens? It's a lovely surprise. And actually my husband's uncle's wife spotted it, and I hadn't actually bought the magazine, and it was in it was a September issue of So magazine. So I have basically purchased the digital copy of it. You'll know that I'm trying to get more digital copies now, and what I'll do is I'll pop a little photograph up on the screen here, and my make is the heart with the red work on it. So hopefully you can spot that there. So I was really pleased to see that, and I've really enjoyed that magazine actually, and I've actually downloaded and just stored it on my phone, the Carol coat that's in that issue. It's got no like, it is quite basic. There's no kind of, I don't think there's any fastenings or anything like that. And I would like, you know, a few fastenings. I think it's a bit of a throw over thing, but I just really like the shape of it. It looked really shapely. So what it is, I would have really liked to have made a coat this year, and then realistically I thought, no, I don't think I'm going to get the time with all the things that I want to do. But do you know what? Because it's probably quite simple, I might get time to actually make that coat. So you never know. Please don't hold me to it, but you never know. I might get it done. So what else do I want to say about that magazine? Basically, I really like it. It's not the first time I've had it. I've got many of them in print copy, and honestly, I like all the magazines. I can't. Is that an insect? It's a biting insect has just flown past me. Okay, I might get a little bite later. So yeah. So I decided, because I've bought that issue, the September issue, and I think I bought not the August. I think I bought the July issue digital, but you pay more when you buy singular copies. So I've decided to subscribe, because you get a 30-day trial. So that means the new one that's just come out, the October issue, I'll get that for free, and then in 30 days then I'll be billed. But it's going to be 23, you've got 2 different price plans, but it's going to be £23 for the whole year. Now I think that's quite good value, considering if I decide to make some things in the magazine, I think that's pretty good value. And I love to read. I really like to read, and I've had a little look in the new book this morning, well, while I was having my lunch actually, because this is Monday afternoon, and there was actually some offers that you could get a free book, and all you have to do is pay the postage. So the postage was about £4 or £4.99 or something, but I'm getting a book for that, so that's nice, isn't it? So I think that's all I want to say about that at the moment. So, and actually, So magazine are going to be getting in contact with me about, and wanted to do a bit of a questionnaire kind of thing. They're going to phone me, and so actually I did feel like I should. It's a good idea that I'm actually reading the magazine every month, so I can be a bit more informative when they ask me questions with my answers. So what have I put next on here? I look like I've wrote sometimes I scribble things on and I don't know what I've wrote. So fat quarter makes. Now you may have seen in a recent video, it was a bit sad for me. I unsubscribed to my Sue Hayley Jane box. I've just had the recent one and I've unsubscribed for now, just because I was getting quite a build up of fat quarters. I've had some as gifts, some in the past I've bought myself, but I get 4 every month, and I've been having them every month since I've been a subscriber, and they were starting to get a little bit out of control, and I just thought I need to get through them, so I'm kind of on a mission to get through them, and then maybe I can subscribe again. So I have actually used my ones that I got in this month's box. Well, some of it. I haven't used every scrap of it, and I'll just check all my notes here. So basically I'm going to tell you a quick story of how this make has come about. I wonder if I've got, oh yeah, that's there. Okay, so when I moved into this house in 2005, it was my second house with my husband, and we had a traditional washing line. One day the washing line disappeared, asked my husband about it, and he cut it down. And I think his excuse was it was in his way when he was doing the mowing. So I was a bit like, well, what do? And he's like, well, you've got a tumble dryer. What's the worry, kind of thing. But you can't put everything in the tumble dryer, and you don't want to put everything in the tumble dryer, do you? So it's a typical guy, isn't it? So anyway, I badgered him for a rotary line. Now I say a rotary line. It was basically looked like a rotary line, but it was half of one, so it didn't rotate. It was one that you attached to the wall. You could fold it up and put a cover over it, but along the way it did start getting a bit jammed, so I couldn't put the cover on it anymore. I just used to leave it out all the time on this wall that's next to the house. It's basically, we've got fencing, and then there was this one bit of wall. The wall used to be bigger, but when my neighbours had an extension, the guys knocked some of it down and was only left with a bit, but I'm glad it's the bit where I've got my rotary line on. So I had my rotary line, had a peg tin, a lovely little tin with pegs on it. Do you can have like matching laundry things and bits and bobs. I had like all this like matching set, and so I had that, and then I was using that, and then one day I heard this racket coming out from the back garden, and my next door neighbour was knocking the wall down, and I phoned up my husband. I said, what the hell's happening? The neighbour's knocking the wall down. He goes, oh, I've told him he can do it. And I'm like, well, why? My washing line's on it. He said, yeah, it's all right, because like when we extend out there a bit, that wall's going to have to come down anyway, or we're not going to even see that wall. So basically I was left with nothing. So then I had nothing, and then I badgered my husband for a washing line. Well, I didn't badger him for it. He was ordering something on Amazon, and I said, oh, can I just add something to that? And I added a retractable rotary line to it. So and it's got like 2 things that come up. And in all honesty, it did take me a while to decide to buy one, because if you read the reviews on rotary lines, they've all got a bad review. And I didn't want to purchase any of them, but I've gone for one, and but I still haven't used it, so I can't comment on how good it is, but I still haven't used it, and I'll tell you the reason why. So the line's up, then went to put some washing out. My peg tin that I keep at the back door in the conservatory, because we've got a conservatory to get out to the back, the peg tin had gone. And cause I don't like leave it out there because it would all rust. And I was like, where's the peg tin? Oh, it was nothing to do with me. And I knew it was because during lockdown, my husband, who had not bothered doing any DJ things for a while, decided to set up his little DJ setup in the conservatory and moved loads of things. So a lot of things went missing. My watering can, all kinds of things went missing, and peg tin was one of them. So I decided to make myself a peg bag. Now, I've always, in the past, and not always wanted my, but in the past I have thought about making one, because I had this nice peg tin. I didn't really feel the need to do it, and I have seen them. I have got a number of I've had a number of magazines, I've had books and things, and I know I've seen them in there where you've drew, where it's like round a coat hanger. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a little bash. So I did have to make my own pattern. But I did get a bit of inspiration, and I'd always I knew I'd seen them before, where the people have done applique washing lines on them with clothes, and I thought, oh, that would be fab, because I love to do free motion. I love doing like fusible applique, and I like doing free motion embroidery. And if you watch my videos before, you'll know that I've got a bit of a thing for free motion embroidered grass in metallic green, right? I just absolutely love it. And if I get a good excuse to put metallic green thread, free motion embroidered grass, I go for it, right? Any excuse to do it. So I'll show you the book where I did find one. I've got, this is my pattern. I had to draw a pattern myself. So basically, I found a coat hanger I wanted to use, drew around it, the top of it, around the curve, added the seam allowance later on, and then I just used my, it was my Lutero curve basically. I did some straight lines, I drew down, and I just used my, you know, my dressmaker's curve to get, it doesn't look very nice, but it is not a nice curve, to do my curves. And I kind of sketched what I wanted on it. I didn't put the grass on it. I just sketched what I wanted on it. And then I used those to trace my Bonder web for when I wanted to do the clothing and the blankets and things. And I free motioned the grass, obviously, on the final piece. You know, I did end up changing the size of this. I think I made it smaller in the end. So even though I'd marked it on, I think I made it smaller. I did it with I marked that with a disappearing pen because I wasn't sure. So I've kept that little pattern. But there is one in this book. But basically you can do it yourself. You know, if you've got a coat hanger, draw around it, think about what seam allowance you want to use, and just draw a shape, how big you want it, and draw a hole in it, leaving enough space to do a bit of decoration if you want some decoration. And there was one in this book called So Fabulous Fabric, and basically they'd got one, and they'd done like a washing line and things on it, and but there was no templates for the clothing anyway, and in the back of the book, I don't think I've had this book a long time, but I've never made anything. There is a template. Hopefully you can see, yeah, you can see it there. But you've got, look at the size of it. You've got to increase that by 400%. Now, you may have watched my videos in the past. Oh, this really infuriates me because it just doesn't seem that simple on my computer to do that. Maybe, I don't know. I've got a different printer now, so maybe I'll have a bash at doing that just for fun, just to see. But obviously I don't think libraries are open still, so it's not like you can go to the library and say, could you increase this by 400%? So yeah, so I just basically went for it and did my own thing. So I'll show you what I ended up with, and this is it. And I'm really pleased with it. I've used a heavyweight calico. Mine is different. I didn't follow the instructions in that book because I wanted a pattern backing. So it's plain on the back and a pattern backing. So I basically had to baste two pieces of fabric together for the back piece, and then sewed it together because I wanted to use one of my fat quarters because I wanted to see that on the inside. And I've used one of my other So Hayley Jane fat quarters in there, if you can see. And those same fabrics, I still had a bit left either side. So that's what I've done. Socks and a blanket and trousers and a t-shirt, and I've done the poles, and I've actually, I went back to a regular sewing machine stitch and I just stitched some twine. Have I got the twine down here? No, I've not got it to hand, but it's just a bit of cotton twine. I think, well, it might not even be cotton, but a bit of twine, and I just zigzagged over the top of it, and then you got that kind of washing line look. And if you see here, this probably didn't show up on my photographs on Instagram, but that's my free motion grass. And you can't, I don't think you can really see the shimmer of that, but to the eye it looks lovely because you can see that lovely shimmer. But I'm really, really pleased with it. However, I haven't got any pegs because obviously my pegs are all lost, so I've got to go and purchase some pegs at some point. And then I don't know for sure, because when you pull your line out you have to wrap the other end round the device. I don't know if it's going to sag, so I might still need a washing line prop, which I don't think I have the one from before now. So I'm still, you know, pegless and rodless. So, but you know, watch this space. But we've had like a lot of thunderstorms and not a lot of great weather for hanging out washing. It's a bit changeable, isn't it? Being in the UK, we live on the jet stream, the way, you know, the earth spins round and causes this jet stream that comes up and down across us, so it's a bit changeable. We've had a lot of thunderstorms, but no doubt by the time I'm all sorted it's not going to be hangy washing out weather. So the washing's going to be in the tumble dryer or on the dry too soon, that plug-in clothes horse thing that I call it, the dry too. It's called the dry soon, and you can get them from Lakeland, but I call it the dry too soon, just my nickname for it. So that is that. So sorry if you've heard all that before about the washing line and everything, but there you go. So I've squeezed something in here actually that I'd only added on this list this morning, and this is the cup. Now I spotted this. I don't know how I spotted it, but I got it from notonthehighstreet.com, and I think the seller was called Cloud9. And you know I'm a little impartial to a craft mug or sewing theme mug, and look, and this one has got my name on it. So I don't, is that top back to front, is it? I don't know. To me that's back to front when I'm looking at it, but I suppose am I looking at it mirror image? Hopefully you're seeing it the right way round. But I hint at my husband, well, I've hinted at my husband when it's coming up to birthdays and various things, not because you know, I'm like, you know, I want this, but do you know, if he wants ideas on things to buy me, but innocently I showed him this, right? And I didn't think, I never thought for 1 minute he was going to get it, because I've hinted until I'm blue in the face before a birthday, and he still didn't twig. So he's never twigged when I've been hinting, by the way, right? So I don't even try anymore, but I did, I went, oh, look at that, or whatever. And I think the advert, it had my name on it. The advert actually had my name. I don't know if this is marketing, that everybody who saw this advert saw their own name. I don't know, but I saw my name. I was like, oh gosh, it's got. I said, look, Chris, that's got my name on it, right? Anyway, I purchased it for myself, and it arrived. Anyway, I showed my husband all chuffed, and he went, oh. He said, I saved that. I was going to get you that for your birthday, because I've got a big birthday, October. And I was like, oh, you do? I said, look, I'll put it in the box, have it back. He says, give it me. He said, no, it's not the same. I was like, look, I don't mind, have it. But he wouldn't have it, so I've got it. But I've not actually used it yet, because I've kept it clean to show you all. However, I really wish now I haven't done myself a coffee for this video. But actually, because I edit the videos by putting photographs in now, I could, if I get really thirsty, I could actually stop it and start it again, couldn't I? So that's not a bad idea. The only thing is then I can't keep an eye on the time, because believe it or not, I do try and do these as fast as possible, but they're never that fast. But I do try, I promise, right? So, the cup. Next thing I've got on here, seam work course, physical mood board, what I've done, la-di-da-di-da, right, okay. Oh, I'll just move these across, actually. Right, I'll show you those in a moment. Right, if you've watched one of my previous videos, you will know I've started this seam work course. And basically, when I joined this course, I basically got a year's access to Seamwork. Now, Seamwork are a pattern company. They do like an online magazine. And basically I've never sewn any of their patterns. So I thought, well, it's quite a good idea to do this. Like, imagine if I'd been buying patterns from them, then did it. It might not be as good value, but because I've never sewn any of their patterns, it seemed a good time. So, well, what I told you that I'd bought a folder and printed everything out, bought tab files and la-di-da. I think what I told you last time is that I hadn't done a physical mood board, and I'd done my mood board on Pinterest. However, I've since printed some of the things off the Instagram mood board and put them in here. So you had a choice. You had either had an online mood board, a mood board that you do with some big piece on, or you can do a mood board on, there's a page in the folder called Mood. Now, I found a load of pictures of ladies' clothing. Now, the first page here, I think only one of them, no, two of them is a sewing pattern. The others are just ladies in outfits. But it's just to get a feel for your style and colour and things. And I did really notice, which is not ideal really if you're doing sew your own wardrobe, but I do seem to like knitted jumpers. Well, I do knit and I do crochet, but obviously they take time, don't they? So I only probably get a knitted garment out probably once a year if I'm lucky, because I do like making toys and bracelets, and you'll have seen. So on the first page, you can see I seem to like jeans. Every lady is in a pair of jeans, all blue bar one, she's got black on, and they've got cream knitted jumpers on. She's got a white, it looks knitted, but I can't really see that closely. She's wearing like a checkered shirt with a cardigan on, knit, and beige boots, which I have got some tan kind of boots that I wore all last year. I've still got them. And that is a sewing pattern shirt. I think it is. Do you know the Cali shirt by, is it Closet Core Patterns now? If they've got one where there isn't a turnover collar, it's more like a grandad collar, that might be a Cali shirt, I don't know. And then I have got a jumper pattern down. You can't actually see it. It's a roll neck jumper, and there's like a dress version, a midi version and a mini version. I probably wouldn't, you can't see that on here, it's just a drawing of a pattern. But the trouble is I don't actually know what pattern it is, but I could probably find one. I think if I was to wear that, I'd probably wear the dress length one in a sweatshirt material, or I'd wear the cropped one. I probably wouldn't wear the in-between, but never say never. So that's what I've got on that side. And I've got some more on here. So on this one, I've got like some pink corduroy trousers. I noticed a bit of animal print popping up, and I do like animal print. I noticed like camel coats, pink coats, scarves, jumper and jeans again. What I have noticed about myself, I'm really liking army green, and there is actually some army green trousers here, and actually a gym outfit in an army green colour. And on this page there's that's the jumper, the Nina Lee sweater, the South Bank sweater by Nina Lee. That's what that picture was that you probably couldn't see there. It was on that other page, it was the variations of it. A grain line studio, the Linden, I think I've got that pattern, the Linden, not made it. The Carolyn pyjamas by Closet Core Patterns, they were Closet Case, now they're Closet Core Patterns, I've changed the name. More knit, jeans, boots, jumpers, and there we go. The Cali does have a grandad kind of style collar, and the Cali. So those are the things that I picked up on my mood board. But I've said this before, I'm quite free-spirited when it comes to my makes, and I would never be set in stone what I'm doing, because I kind of go with weather, seasons, how I'm feeling, whether it's clothes or other kind of makes. So even though obviously there was pyjamas in my mood board, but I'd already decided on some pyjamas I was making, and you may notice I'm wearing them, and I photographed these this morning, and I have posted them on social media. So shall I say this now? You know, no, shall I? Go on, I'll put my photographs up. So I've really gone for it here. I've had a few photographs taken. So I've done a couple standing up. Well, probably I think one from the back, a couple from the front standing up. And I've done some sitting on the bed. I've got ones where I'm just sitting there, one with the hot water bottle, which is a prop, but I have actually needed it this week. I've had a bit of tummy trouble all week, and I have actually been using the water bottle, but I do feel a bit better today, and I am waiting for my urine sample to come back from the doctor, so I will be calling them this afternoon to see if they've had anything back. But for this, it was a prop, and there is a photograph of me doing a little bit of knitting. Now if you did spot it, you'll see that I'm using that yarn that I showed you, that there was an impulse buy in Hobbycraft, the cotton yarn, and I'm actually doing another maiden bracelet, and I've showed you the maiden bracelets. If you haven't seen them, here's one here. You can't see it very well, can you? Like I say, I'll pop that photo back on here. Sorry if you've seen this before. I've been making these maiden bracelets from Knitting Smitten book, and it's my fourth one. I made one years ago. Recently I've made a green one, a baby pink one. Now I would have said it was a hot pink, but you know what, looking at it now, it looks like purple. So what I'm thinking of doing is, because now the season seems to be changing a little bit, I'm thinking of doing a black one. I know I mentioned having a black one with the green and the pink because they'd go, but doing a black one to go with the purpley one, so it looks a bit Halloween, because I love Halloween. So anyway, you've seen the pyjamas. Actually, shall I tell you about it? I'm going off on one. I was going to tell you about the pyjamas anyway. Basically, I have sewn. This is really mixing things up a bit. Basically, I have sewn them on my overlocker, right? Because first what I did, I actually cut out a pair of pants, which I have shared on social media, and I'll show you here in a moment. I'll tell you which pants. I made some pants and I sewed them on my overlocker that had white threading using this fabric. And then I didn't really mind so much because I thought they're just kind of a test piece, because I didn't have totally the correct supplies I needed. And then I thought, oh gosh, you can see the white thread. So I thought, oh no, that I don't like that, you know, really seeing the white, you can see the white thread. However, so I decided to make the top first, even though I had the trouser pattern already cut out. Now you will have known that I did want to make these trousers before. If you watched the previous video, I wanted to make the trousers for Brighton, but I ran out of time. It was all a bit too stressful, and my husband ended up buying me some. But in all honesty, it was too hot when we were down there. Even though I've been away on an English holiday before when it was hot. I went to Aberystwyth about 3 years ago for our anniversary, and actually where our hotel room was, it was absolutely freezing. So we was baking at home, took all these summer things, and then we were freezing in this room, and they had to give us a heater. This was in August. So in all honesty, even though I was going away in August, I was going to Brighton, which is south, I wanted to be prepared for anything. So I wanted short things and long cosy things, but I didn't need the cosy things. So I'd already got the trousers cut out because I'd traced them off a magazine pattern. Even though I've got the book, I've got the Make It Simple book, what they came from. I had, I said to you it was a Love Sewing magazine I got the pattern from. I didn't. I got it from Simply Sewing magazine, and I bought that magazine in print purely because it had the Juno pyjamas in it, and I thought it will save me tracing. But it turns out I had to trace anyway because you had half a trouser leg on one side and half on the other side. So I traced my trouser pattern before I went away, come back, and then I was thinking, oh, summer, I don't need them now. But the weather's cooled down and they kept looking at me. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to sew them. And I know I've got the fabric. But the beauty of it is, because I traced the trousers, then when I thought, well, I could do the top now, I'm not rushed. I did actually manage to cut the pattern pieces out. The only thing that was missing from doing that, cutting out the top and everything, there was a bit of this. If I was doing short sleeve, it wouldn't have mattered, but it missed out a whole chunk of the sleeve. But what I did, I put it on the pattern paper, folded the sleeve in half, traced round it, and then I cut round it. So basically, the chunk that was missing, you probably can't see that. That's just paper I've had to add in. So I had a whole pattern piece. So that was a lot quicker this time because I basically had a pattern to cut out. I did size up, even though with my measurements for my bottom half, I would be a number 1 in the Tilly and the Buttons. Her sizing is different, by the way. It's not like US or UK. She does her own sizing. But I sized up to the 2. However, I'm glad I didn't do the 1. I think if I wanted to do the 1, I think I'd have had to go I should have a stretchier fabric, really. This, I don't, whether I twisted my fabric and done it the wrong way, I don't know. I don't think I did, but they're just right. But I wouldn't want them any smaller. They're comfortable, they're right, but I think the reason I'm telling you this is, if I were you, I'd consider maybe sizing up or sizing up twice, just if I were you. Anyway, so I'd done the pyjamas, but no, where am I going with this? So I thought, well, what I'll do is this time, I didn't think I had any black overlocker thread. I thought I've only got coloured and white. So I decided to sew the top on my sewing machine using black thread. However, what I discovered is, even if you use black thread with this fabric, I don't know if you can see it here, but you can see a white line where it is. And what it is, you can't see with this because it's the cuffs double layer. See if I can show you. And I'll just put this folder down. If I just stand up a moment. This fabric, look, actually you can see it here, but actually no, I did something different here, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's white underneath, so even if you sew this fabric, as much as I love it, it's organic cotton, it's from the Craft Cotton Company collaboration with Tilly and the Buttons, and I have used one of those fabrics before and loved it. This one, it does look like you've used white thread even if you've used black. So what I ended, but then it turns out I did have black overlocker thread. I've actually got an old overlocker and my black thread was on that one. So I did try sewing, I think I sewed one cuff on one overlocker with white thread and one cuff on the other overlocker with the black thread, and there's no difference. They still look like you've got white bits kind of showing through because of this fabric. And actually I prefer my other overlocker, the one with had all the white thread on it, and instead of re-threading it all with the black thread, I just ended up sewing the whole of the trousers on the overlocker this time. So I basically sewed the top with my sewing machine, and then I overlocked and cut just the edges, just inside of my stitching line. I put the band on. I did the band with the sewing machine. What did I do with this? I can't remember. I think I overlocked the sleeve cuffs on. Then when I did the bottom, I basically did it all on the overlocker. The only thing that is a little bit tricky with my overlocker there's no seam allowance guide on it. So what I did, I used a 3-thread overlock, used the needle on the right side to make it a narrower hem. I got my little measurer and I measured what 5/8 of an inch is, because that's what the seam allowance is in this, and I put a bit of washi tape, and it was a bit weird because I couldn't properly stick it down and it was sticking all out, but I kind of did that, and actually it was a bit annoying. So then what I did with the other times I had to sew on it, I made a few little marks with my disappearing pen every now and then along my seam line. So when I was overlocking, I kind of was guiding that mark into the need, because on an overlocker on the foot you get 2 little ridges and those indicate where the needles are, so I was guiding it towards the one on the right just to get the seam allowance kind of thing all the way around. So I don't know, maybe that affected the sizing a little. Maybe I wasn't very accurate, I don't know, but I was accurate as I could be on it. But they absolutely flew together, the bottoms did, and yeah, and I'm really happy with them. So what I did, going back to seam work, right, sorry, I had to go off on one. I basically, there's a picture of this fabric on the Tilly and the Buttons website. I printed that out and stuck it in here, and I drew the pyjamas. Let me see if you can see that. Gosh, you can't, can you? Yeah, do you know what? I'll take a photograph of that and I'll put it on. I drew the pyjamas. Yeah, we hadn't got to this stage yet of seam work, but because I wanted to make a project, I just wanted to do it like that, use a project plan, because you can print as many of these off as you like. So there was a little snippet of what you're going to be doing in the future. It was, you get emails like every day, I think it's every day, and there was a little bit of a snippet at the bottom about when you're going to be doing the project plans. So if you saw on my mood board, I'd liked this gym outfit. It's basically a khaki green legging and a top. I decided I'd do it as a project plan. So check this out, right? See the lady? The lady is apparently my body model, right? And I've done that, and I've done a green outfit, and it's off a website. You basically go on a website, you put in all your measurements, and it will show your body model, and then if you want it to print it out, you pay for it. However, before I didn't know this before I purchased it, when I showed my body model to my husband, he did say, that doesn't look like your body. I said, okay, but I said, well, do you know what, it's just a rough idea, because, let me show you in here, I'm showing you this, I think, did I show him? They do give you examples of body models that you're going to be able to use. So, and it's really good, it's really diverse, there's all different shaped ladies. So that's the one lady. Let me have a look at the next one. There's that lady. There's that lady. And in all honesty, I thought that was the slimmest lady in there. So I thought, oh, I best do my body model. Well, it turns out I didn't see this page. So I bought my body model that my husband says doesn't look like me. But I don't think it's a total waste of time by doing it. I could have used this one. And this isn't far off me, really. There's no bust on this one, so you could add it. So I could have used this body model, really, and it looks nice with the hair. But what's really nice is, with my body model, I did learn a lot about myself, right? So, let me have a look at this. Just remind me. So, I've realised I've been measuring myself wrong from a hip measurement. Now I've been you've got your higher hip, which is on your hip bones, And then your low hip measurement, right? This is what I found out from doing this My Body model. If I stand up, now, do you know when you lift your leg up here, that is your low hip measurement there. So basically what they tell you to do is put a safety pin here, safety pin here, then when you put your legs down, you measure around that amount. Well, that measurement is 2 inch, well, I haven't measured myself since I've done all that, I might have changed again, but it's 2 inches smaller than my measurement that's my widest bit. My widest bit is here, right? So I kind of knew that you could measure here for hip, but I've always thought, oh, go by your widest hip measurement, right? But what I've realised is I end up, when I sometimes make garments, they end up being massive. And I think this is the reason why. I think I've got to go more with that hip measurement. And actually it tallies up better with, do you know when you look at sewing patterns and you've got a waist measurement and a hip measurement, those two tally up much better than using that wider one. And what I've noticed, I think it all depends on the pattern, because what I've noticed, I looked at this skirt that had a waistband and things, and I looked at the pattern, and actually the skirt was very fitted from here to here, but then when it got to there it bellowed out. So actually I should have gone by, I haven't made that skirt, but if I was going to make that skirt, that's the measurement I should be going for, because the skirt bellowed out after that anyway. So I think doing that body model and then doing all these different measurements and teaching you how to measure yourself properly, it really has helped me. So I've really benefited from that. However, you shouldn't really be jumping ahead to this kind of bit yet, but they did give you a bit of a teaser. But for example, if you wanted to do the whole course in a day, you could do it. You don't have to wait for the emails. You can jump ahead if you want to, but it's kind of nice, kind of just tinkering along at the same pace as everybody else. So what then this week, what we were told to do is to shop our stash of fabrics and see if any of those fabrics match our mood. Then it wanted you to shop for swatches, which I haven't done, in all honesty. I have bought some fabric, but I haven't done that because I've been in the So Hayley Jane subscription thing, and I've bought patterns. I'm kind of trying to use up the fabrics I've got from So Hayley Jane, but they don't necessarily match with my mood board. And also there's patterns I've got that I probably need fabric for that don't really match with my mood board, but I might want to sew them. So what I could do is be a bit sneaky, and if they're not on my mood board, add it to my mood board. Oh yes, that was in my original plan, you know, kind of thing. But I could, so you could do that, couldn't you? So you could do or have a separate one, spontaneous mood board or something. So anyway, but I have taken something that is on my mood board and I am going to make it. So basically, the gym top that I've drew and had a vision of, there's one exactly the same as that on the Seamwork website. So I might have downloaded that already, I'm not sure, but I can download that absolutely free. So I'll be able to make the gym top, and the leggings, I've ordered a pattern. It's a Jaylee pattern. I do like Jaylee patterns. I have worked with Jaylee patterns before. This is the figure skating dress. I've got a couple I haven't used, and it's the leggings, the Clara. Is it the Claire? It might be Clara leggings, and so I'm going to make those to match. and I've got my fabric from Guthrie and Garney. Now, I was so incredibly lucky because I ordered some fabric from Guthrie and Garney, and then after I'd ordered it and paid for it, it was in the night, I realised it wasn't going to have enough stretch. It was only 30% stretch, and I found out the Clara leggings need 60% stretch. So I was extremely lucky. Let's hope they've put what this is on here. So basically, I phoned them up. I emailed them in the morning. Hadn't had a reply, so I phoned them up, and I was in a panic. And luckily, they hadn't cut the fabric yet, so they let me change it. And actually, they gave me a £10.20 refund. So I was so lucky they hadn't cut it. And they've given me, it's a fur green tencel modal jersey, and this has got 60% stretch, and oh my goodness, it feels gorgeous. It feels so nice. So I cannot wait to make my Clara leggings and my gym top in this, and I'm hoping, just hoping, I don't know how much did I order, that I've got some left to make something else in. And so yeah, so that's my plan with my seam work at the moment. So the only thing I've gone against really with that at the moment, I haven't done any swatch shopping because I don't want to be really rigid with that mood board, because I'm kind of just going to go with what I feel like I want to make at the time, and I'm constantly making things anyway. It's not like, I think, you know, if you had kind of lost your mojo, that might really be good for you, good inspiration. But do you know what, I've been sewing like a crate, like even though I've been, you know, I've told you this before, I've been crafting all my life, but when I moved house, I borrowed the spool on my sewing machine, went missing. That was in 2005. I borrowed my mum's spool in 2007. That got she wanted that straight back, and I didn't manage to get a spool holder until 2012. And then I've been sewing since a crazy woman since. And with 2020, there was only 4 months out of all that time I lost my mojo, and that was because we'd had a kitten that he wasn't eating, and we was having to I was syringe feeding him round the night, and I took him to the vet. They decided to keep him in overnight, and he died in their care, and it was, and it really, honestly, I agree. Honestly, you might laugh thinking it's an animal, but I was in a bad way, really. I really lost it for like 4 months, and I didn't craft anything. But in all that time, that's the only time I've lost my mojo because of the loss, and it was the children. My boys were much smaller, and it was just devastating just seeing the children. But we did get another cat after. So which it didn't ease the pain to start with. I think it was a bit too soon, but he did eventually. So anyway, sorry to be miserable story. So I'll just pop that down there. I'm just wondering, is there any, I haven't looked at today's email actually. I'm just wondering if I've done anything more with the seam. So I don't think I have. I don't know what the thing is today actually. I think, oh, they wanted you to do like a colour thing, so you got neutrals, basic and prints and things, but I'm like, there's a picture there, look, where they're like building up swatches of fabrics, building up like a colour palette kind of thing, which I don't think I'm going to be doing. And there's my space for my palette, so I don't think I'm going to be doing that right now. Maybe in the future we'll start building up from a mood board, but it's only because I've got other things in the balance that I want to do. So that's all I've got to say about that at the moment, is about the seam work, and I'm really enjoying that. And it's a lovely community. You get an online community with there, and you can post in the forums and things, and people are ever so supportive. And if you're interested in my body model, you know, you can have a tinker around for free. It's only if you want the printout you've got to pay. So have a look on there, see if your body model looks like you. But I did get my husband to help me measure myself actually, because I thought I had a 30-inch leg inseam when I put the tape measure down and put it under in my crotch area, I've measured 30 inches, but that one makes you just measure just past the bone. And my husband says I'm a 28-inch inside leg, so there's me thinking, oh, I'm a regular leg. I'm probably petite leg. I don't know. I'll have to look on ready to wear garments. So what am I going to do? Right, I'm going to go to the pants now, actually. I've not put them on the list, so it's a good job I haven't forgot it. I showed you this before. I might have to put it on the screen. Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. I made the Rosy Lady Shorts by Cloth Habit, and it's a free pattern. I downloaded that and a couple of bras that I did. Well, it was a bra and knickers that I paid for and a bra, but I've not sewn those yet or whatever, or put the patterns together or anything. But I have made the Rosy Shorts and the lady shorts, and they're really cute. Even though I've made the Megan Nielsen Acacia pants. I've made 2 pairs of those, have I? 2 pairs and a pair cut out. What else have I done? Yeah, so, and I've made the Paper Theory pants and Paper Theory pants, and initially I didn't like those as much. I didn't like the shape. I felt like a little bit those were more shaped like what I'd wear when I was a little girl. However, they actually came in very handy because they were so more like Bridget Jones looking style pants. When I was in Brighton and we was in the hotel and been walking places and we were boiling, do you know when you're so boiling you just got to strip your clothes off and you get back to your room? We actually had our middle son and our youngest son in the room with us that are teenagers. Our eldest son was with my parents in the room next door. We was having to strip down to our undies when we got back because we were just so sweltering in the room and from walking and things. So it actually was quite useful that I'd got these big pants, because if I'd got some more teeny pants, you know, it's a bit more uncomfortable being around, you know, just sitting around with your kids, isn't it, your teenage boys? So yeah, so the Bridget Jones pants were out, kind of thing. So anyway, so these are another start, and these are like different again. Now you have a look. Actually, I'll put the picture up on there again. Now you look at the shape of them, right? They look quite low waisted. They sit quite low. Well, look at them now. I have cut those out exactly. Look how long that piece looks compared to the picture. And so they're not the same as the drawing, are they? That gusset piece is longer. So they sit a lot higher. They kind of like they come right up here, and then they're like this long bit down here, and there's all this bum out, and it's not what I thought would happen. I kind of thought they'd be on my bottom and sit quite low and be low down here, but they're not. I suppose I could tinker with it, and these are different, but you put these together different to the Paper Theory and the Pants Are Made and the Acacia by Megan Nielsen. With those you have a front piece, a back piece and 2 crotch pieces, and you do like a burrito thing. These were different, so you've got 2 pieces which make up the 2 sides, front and back. So you have a centre seam here. So excuse that dot there. I wasn't really giving it a thought really where I was placing my dots. And I've got one on the bottom as well. Look, half a dot there. Look. So you have a centre seam with these, and then you have a crotch piece, but you kind of sew that in. You have 1 crotch piece, not 2, and you kind of sew that on top here, on top of the main pants. So when you sew your back piece to your front piece, you also sandwich the crotch in, and then you just literally you overlock the one edge if you choose to, and then you just stitch it down, and then it all just gets encased. You're meant to use, I've used Pico elastic that I got free one time. I won it from Sew Magazine, and they sent me loads of it, they did. And that's how much I've got left now, actually, of it. And so I use that, but on the pattern, they look, if you looked up these pants on Instagram, they look a lot prettier. They've got like lace, thick elastic lace all the way around here and all the way around the legs and things, but mine has just got this pico elastic. But I haven't wore these yet. I tried them on, but I haven't wore them yet because I just wanted to show you. But so that's another pant. No doubt I'll try other pant patterns. I just love making pants because it's just really satisfying, especially when you know you're using like 100% you know, organic and cotton. You think it's going to be good on my lady parts, you know, nice and airy and whatever. So that is that. I was going to tick it off, but I haven't actually put it on my list. Cosplay, right. Now you may have seen in, it might have been my last video or it might have been the video before, I'd bought a pin board from Hobbycraft to do a mood board, a physical mood board this time for my son. I'll get this down. And I've got it here. So I've been telling you, I home educate my middle child who's 15, and basically this is a project we're doing together, but it's on hold at the moment because it's still school summer holidays. So I'm waiting for my eldest to go to college, my youngest to go back to school, and then we will carry on with this. So this is a character that he wants to dress up as. He's basically I know his name. It's called Speedwagon, and he's a stand. He's called a stander. Basically, it's a bit like, I don't know if it's like people and they have a spirit guide, and they've got someone talking down the background. He's one of those. And my son does costume play, and he wants to dress up as him. So this is a list of things that we've done so far. Like we've found the character, printed it out, done a bit of research on where we're going to get patterns from and where we got them from and what we'd ordered and things. And what I've done is I've got one of these popper clear sleeves, and the patterns that we've got so far I've put in there, and we're going to draft a waistcoat and things. So the next stage really, we have measured him, it's on here, but we're going to re-measure him, and then we're going to go fabric shopping. But obviously with all, like, first there was lockdown, and then there was school holidays and still lockdown, so it kind of put a bit of a hold, because we would have done more of this before the summer holidays, because the costume play thing's normally November at the Birmingham NEC, but I don't think that's even going to be happening this year anyway, so it's no rush, is it? I'm hoping that they do a spring one or something for him. So yeah, it's such a shame, isn't it? You know, with everything. Like it's a big birthday for me this year, and I'd got tickets with my husband, and they were like near front row tickets to go and see the Hairy Bikers on tour, and I've met Dave and before, and had a photograph taken with him and things, and watched a little show with him on his own. But I'd love to see the two of them together, and my husband had bought us nice tickets where we could have had a photo with both of them and things. And I'm really gutted, because I probably don't speak about this a lot. You might every now and then see food popping up on my things, and I am cooking all the time, but I'm not always taking photos of it. I do think, oh, should I take a photo? But sometimes we're so starving, we're just all tucking in, and I can't be bothered to take the photograph. Maybe if I didn't do crafts, I suspect that's what my social media would be about. That would be my hobby, and my only hobby kind of thing. Well, apart from the ice skating and the ukulele, it'd probably be about that really. But because I do this, I tend to like do about these more. So that's that. Right, I did mention in a previous video that I was really excited. I was reading my So Hailey Jane book, and I was excited about the new Secret Garden film that was coming out, and then it was out. Well, I had a look at the cinema, and it wasn't out yet. I don't know if it's been put back because of COVID, but it's not out till the 23rd of October. So we decided to watch something else instead. And I hadn't seen who the actors were, hadn't seen any reviews, hadn't seen you know, trailers, anything. And we went to see Pinocchio. And do you know what? I don't want to say anything bad, but I don't want to recommend anyone to it. I did feel a bit like, oh my goodness, what have I brought my teenage boys and my husband to? Because it was just a whole level of weird. And especially as my boys haven't seen the cartoon Pinocchio, so some of it was kind of like making sense to me, because I was thinking, oh yeah, the cartoon, but yeah, some things were a little bit too weird for them. But you could say, oh yeah, it's for the younger child, but yeah, they might get nightmares. I have to say, I don't think Disney would touch it. In all honesty, if they went to Disney and said, oh, let's, you know, do this film, Disney wouldn't touch it, because Pinocchio goes through all these traumas, and at one point he actually he gets hung by the neck by a tree, and from a tree, and these guys, the assassins, are hanging around waiting for him to die. It's pretty dark in places, so if you really fancy it for your child, I would maybe wait for it to come out on DVD. I'd vet it first and see what you think, if it's suitable for your child. But it's not a feel-good movie. It's not one of those that sit there and makes you feel good. But there was the accents are funny because they're Italian, and it is dubbed, and it was very, the costumes are very theatrical. There was a lot of things I could really appreciate it, and I felt like there was some heartwarming little moments and things. So it's not all bad, and it did pick up, it did get better. But I don't want to say go and watch that movie, it's really great, because you might think we come out saying that was the worst movie we've ever seen, but we spoke about it all the way home, and we have been speaking about it since. So I don't know, it's a bit of a funny one, really. So what's that? So I'm just thinking, what are we going to be getting up to? So we have got a wedding anniversary this week. We celebrated being together as a couple for 19 years, just previous, and we're going to be celebrating our wedding anniversary this week as well. We did try and book our wedding on our being together anniversary, which would have been great, wouldn't it? But on the plus side, we kind of get two celebrations, don't we? How many years we've been together, and then a wedding anniversary, so that's nice, isn't it? So yeah, so we're going to be celebrating an anniversary. Basically makes so I've just right, Mandy Shaw unboxing. Right, that's the final thing now. So basically, with future makes, I've ordered an extra thing from Mandy to do with the Secret Society, and I'm waiting for the Clara pattern. But because I'm waiting for that Clara pattern, I don't know, I might sew something else while I'm waiting, but I don't know what that is yet, so watch this space. So basically this morning I have finished my Juno pyjamas by sewing the cuffs on, and my Mandy Shaw came this morning. Loads of people have had these already. So basically this month is the August Secret Society. I'm just looking at the time. Do you know what? This as well. So basically this is my Mandy Shaw unboxing of the Secret Society August, and it's only arrived this morning. Loads of people have had theirs already, but we've had a delay with the post in this area. Some people haven't had a post for 7 days. Hopefully, because I've got this today, other people are getting theirs. So this is the booklet, and what does Mandy say? Does she... Basically, in this parcel, you get an iron-on transfer for block 3. You get a full kit and pattern for a zipper pouch. That's this pouch here. You get pebble sweets. You get 3 pebble sweets. I've eaten one of them. You get a pattern for a face mask. Shall I show you that? There, pattern from Haze Mask. And I love red work badge. Here, you probably can't really see that. A download for your 2 becomes 1 bag. And basically you can buy the kit to make it, and I've purchased the kit this morning, so I'm just waiting for that to arrive. And what will happen is when you make your bag, this will be an added thing that clips to your bag. I'll see if there's a picture of it. I think it might be in here actually. Bear with me. Yeah, there's a picture of the bag, and Mandy's put some of her badges on there. So that is where you'll put, that's the little pouch there that you'll attach. So I will be making that bag, I will be making that pouch, and no doubt I'll be putting badges on my bag. And that is it really. Maybe I'll take a photo of this, the contents of this, and put that on the side for you. And that is basically what we got this month. So, and there's the Pebble Sweets. I'm going to have another one of those in a minute. So, watch this space. So, this is probably going to be the... I probably should have just put this at the end of the video. Matt, do you know what? I might put this at the end of the video. It's like 3 minutes long. It's not going to add much to it, is it? So thank you so much for watching today. You actually, you might notice I've got something to here. This normally sits in the bay window, but I've moved it here, and it's got loads of sewing patterns in it. So if you wondered what was going on here, it's a little bit different today. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be back soon with some more makes and stories and whatever's going on. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.